All right, what's going on, everyone? Captain here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, we're going to be doing another champion breakdown. I've done, I think, only one other one of these in the past. It was Solus, character who I think is very underrated. A lot of people say he's great in faction wars, but I think he's good in a lot of other areas. So if you want to see that video, go ahead and check it out. But today, we're going to be reviewing another character, the character Fayne. She's a brand new character that was added last month during the October fusion event, and she was one of the ones you had to fuse in order to get Vergumkar, the fusion champion there. But I think she is a very awesome character, and I'm gonna even say it, I think she might even be a poor man's Draco in certain scenarios, not all over in the game, but in a couple specific areas. I think she can be utilized the same way Draco Morph can be used. So I'll get into that a little bit into the video. But before we go any further, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Raid Shadow Legends once again is sponsoring this video. Guys, if you haven't downloaded the game already, go on down in the description now. In the next 30 days, if you use that link, you guys, if you're a first time player of the game, will be getting a free character Grumbler and 100,000 silver to get you guys started on your journey inside Raid Shadow Legends. Grumbler is part of the Dwarf faction. He is a rare based off of HP character, so most of his damage is going to be dealt based off of HP. He's also placing shields on the opponent, putting up heal reduction, so not allowing that opponent to heal, as well as an ally protection and increased defense. So some good support going on with this guy. So he'll help keep your big damage dealers alive longer, which is definitely something that is huge in the early stages of the game, is keeping everyone alive. If you're alive, you're able to do damage. This guy will help those guys stay alive. But once again, make sure to do it in the next 30 days, and it has to be on a new account, and you guys will be getting those rewards once you have downloaded the app. Using that link, you'll come over here in game to the upper right hand corner, click on the little chest, and the rewards will be sitting for you right there. You'll hit collect and you're ready to go. So once again, thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. And one last thing before we start talking about Fayne, if you haven't seen my previous video, I opened up a bunch of void shards and some other shards in the video as well as part of the 10 times event that was going on last weekend, or 2 weekends ago at this point. And then this last weekend we had a 2 times void event, and well, I'm gonna spoil, I didn't record it. I'm kind of upset. I'm really upset at myself that I didn't record it, because I ended up getting a couple more void shards after I did that opening, and I opened them during the 2 times event, not on video, because I didn't want to do like back-to-back void opening videos for you guys. It's not as exciting. But I got Krisk. I got Krisk the Ageless, arguably the best, or at least one of the best characters, let alone void characters in the entire game. And yeah, so he's definitely been a huge boost to a lot of areas in the game that I'm just trying to work my teams around him now. But yeah, he is awesome. So this video is not about him though. I just had to at least address that I do have a Krisk now. So yeah, pretty lucky. But today we're talking about, where is she? Fayne. There we go, the little mouse skinwalker girl here. She looks super cool. I love her animations, her style and everything. Very unique to the game. It didn't feel like, oh, they just copied another skin, because you know, they're not perfect, Raid. I mean, they have amazing character models, but there are a couple of like the orcs and you know, the ogrins, and some of them that they basically like to copy and paste and just different coloring and a little bit here and there. But Fayne felt brand new, fresh into the game, so I was super happy that she looks super awesome and that she turns out to be super cool. So what is cool about Fayne? Let's talk about her abilities. If you don't have her already, guys, keep an eye out for her, because she's going to be a fun one to get. So A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Always nice to at least have a 2-time hitter. 1 time, it's, you know, it's not as great, but double hitter on the A1. Each hit has a 35% chance of stealing 5% of the target's turn meter. So a minor turn meter reduction there, which increases up to 50% chance of that landing. So a little good there. So and that can land on both hits of both the A1, both those hits there. So 2 chances of that happening. Then the A2 attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance plus 100% chance once booked of placing 2 5% poison debuffs and a 50% decreased attack. Decreased attack, a great debuff to get placed, especially in Clan Boss, which is where we're going to be focusing a lot of her on in the game today. And then the 2 poisons, obviously, again, clan boss is great. And then the A3, though, this is where she becomes the little bit of a Draco replacement, in my opinion. So attacks one enemy 3 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff. Goes up to 100% once booked. And that lasts for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So awesome right there. The second hit has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken, and again 100% once booked for 3 turns. So that's Draco. If we go up to Draco, he has on his A3 weaken and debuff for 2 turns on a 3 turn. So this is 1 turn longer, but the same amount of duration of like cooldown. Essentially, it's only 1 turn less. So that is awesome right there with the A3. And then third hit heals this champion by 4% of her max HP for every debuff on the target. So again, against the clan boss, that's going to add up quite a bit if you have a lot of debuffs up on the clan boss. So there is her kit. Now we will quickly show you what I put on for her masteries. So a pretty standard clan boss build from what I've seen out in the community. Most people go something similar to this on their clan boss builds, going down here to War Master on the left. And then I got her in Grim Resolve, which increases damage inflicted by 5%, 50% health. If you're doing an unkillable team, that's a no-brainer. And then we got this one, not really doing anything, just to get over to here. It increases damage inflicted by 4% for each debuff on the opponent. So just trying to get her to be doing more and more damage. And then the counterattack here gives a chance for her to do a counterattack every now and then. It's nice as well. Hopping over to her artifacts and how I have her built. So she is built up currently for the slow unkillable team, the Man-Eater Painkeeper one, if you're familiar with it. I'll put a link in the description to the page on Deadwood's Jedi that has all the speed breakdown for what you need for all of that. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but if you know the comp, you know what I'm talking about. If not, like I said, just check out that link. But so she is built to fit into that kind of team right now for me. So just to show her overall stats, I have her at 176 speed. The speeds for that have to be, for your damage dealers, is between 175 and 178, I believe. Got her attack super high because she does have a good 1600 base attack, which is really high, but it's that defense that is really, really weak. So that's why most people say her place is in a unkillable team where defense and HP doesn't really matter. It does to an extent, but essentially you're not going to have to worry about their health because they're going to be surviving at 1 HP because of those unkillables the whole time. And then I've got her accuracy down here up at 230, 100% crit rate, 121% crit damage. Obviously would like to get that crit damage up higher. It's been a while since I've built her, but I've had her this way for a little while, so I might have some better gear on my account that I could improve her stats. But for now, this is where she's at. I think I have her in, so I've got her in a crit rate gauntlet, stalwart gear set here just to help reduce that AoE damage, and also not life steal, since I don't need her to have that life getting the healing back because she is in a unkillable team. I do have one clip at the end of this that I will show, or at least I'll show the final damage of the team where I use her in a non-unkillable team. But yeah, we'll get into that toward the end. So yeah, crit rate, gauntlet, attack percent, chest, speed on the boots, and then kind of just looking for as much accuracy and making sure I get my crit rate up to 100% from the top pieces here, and then also making sure her speed is in the right place. Got a accuracy banner. I think I was probably trying to get attack when I put this on her, since I had her speed where I needed it. Oh wow, actually I didn't realize I had her in an attack. I must have, when I built her, I probably didn't. I could probably make her even better right now because normally, attack, I don't even know why. Wow, this is embarrassing that I have this maxed out, because attack on the amulets, I did not know this was on here, are probably the worst you can have. There's no point in even having them. So let's go ahead and go amulet, crit damage. See if we can find ourselves one with accuracy, because that's all we need on her right here. Do we have anything good? All right, so I decided to go ahead and try to find a better amulet, and I found one here, one of my 6-star ones that finally rolled some accuracy for me. I was having some really bad luck. If I just show you real quick, all my ones that had accuracy, it went resistance, defense, HP. So yeah, got really unlucky with that, and then finally had one that rolled accuracy and then rolled it a second time and took a lot of my silver to get it to 60, and it took forever. But that's just silver. We can get that however we want. But here we go. We have her stats now up to a little bit, just got to gain a little bit more crit damage. Obviously, if I do crit damage here, then I'm getting a lot more. So that is my build for her. And remember, this is designed for the unkillable, the slow unkillable comps. I know I've seen people use her in the bigger unkillable ones with double man eaters and everything like that. So I've seen her used there, but this is for the slow one. I just had some notification come up from Streamlabs. I think someone just subscribed to the channel, so thanks. So yeah, that is what she's going to be looking like today. So let's go ahead, jump over to my clan boss, and I'll show you what a run on. We'll do Ultra Nightmare, and then I've got some screenshots to do some comparison to damage that I've done with Draco. But just to show you how this team will work, and this is the team I've kind of been playing around with ever since I got Crisp, trying to get that team to work, but can't seem to get the speeds right with Bad L to do the cleanse and all. But here we go. So for clan boss here, we have ourselves, where is he at? Bulwark to be our slow character, Painkeeper, and Man Eater as our guys to get us going. Well, I guess Painkeeper's a girl, I'm sorry. To get us going with the unkillable, and then we've got our damage eaters in Occult Brawler and Fayne. So we'll hit start here. And the reason I took her up in the first place was because I used to always use Draco on this team, and it was always annoying whenever I had to face the Force Affinity boss on Nightmare, because, you know, it throws off the whole comp because the stun target goes on to Draco instead. So here we go with Fayne on her first attack. We're going to use the A3 to put the defense down and the weaken. You can see we land both of them there. Perfect. Then we go in with Occult Brawler here. Again, I'm not going to just super break down how this team, how you get it going and everything. It's pretty straightforward, but there's videos about that as well, or maybe I'll do it in the future talking about it. I'll save the heal, and we're almost done here, almost ready to go. She gets that counterattack there from her Mastery setup. Use the A2, get some poisons going, and then the decreased attack, which again in this comp, decreased attack doesn't matter. Use Occult Brawler A1 again, get some more poison, and then Painkeeper A2. Now the stun should go, it goes right to Bulwark, and now we are full auto. From here on out, we will go the full 50 turns. So pretty awesome. She gets there 16, 18,000, not huge damage there, but she does get a good amount of damage from those poisons that she hits. I don't quite know what her multipliers and everything look like, but she can hit pretty hard. You see there 26,000, and then the War Master proc there, like I think that's at 34. We didn't have the defense down or weaken up at the time, but yeah, this team, it does enough to get me a 3 key on Ultra Nightmare, which I know isn't the end goal, but when you're just getting to that Ultra Nightmare level, being able to do it in 3 keys is like the first step, because anything more than that, you're wasting a lot of time. So 3 keys is good, in my opinion, and it really shows that, like, if she's able to do this on this level, the value she has in lower level clan bosses. I think if you build her with a little bit more defense maybe, then she's going to be helping out a ton in those clan bosses. So for early game people, if you're trying to get your first kind of clan boss team going, whether it's unkillable or not, I think Fayne is a fantastic character you should look at and possibly throw onto a team. And there's lots of builds out there that people can help you and guide you, especially Deadwood Jedi's website. They're all on there, guys. Go check them out. An awesome resource in the community. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and let this play out. You can see so far we're doing just fine. Everyone's health, you know, no one's dying. We just got the unkillable going up again where Bulwark would have died, but hey, we're set. She just reset it, and now this is just gonna go for another 40 turns, and we'll be back with you when it gets to the end. All right, and here we are winding down, approaching turn 50. We're on 48 right now. You can see we are just about to hit 23 million here in a little bit. So this team's gonna be right around, like I said, the 3 key mark, which obviously you want to aim for higher, but when you're first getting Ultra Nightmare, this is where you gotta start basically. So yeah, solid team. And I'll pull up some comparisons to what this team looks like while using a Draco. So here we go. We can see the final breakdown: 23.48 million damage. Fayne dumping out 9 million of that herself. Sorry if you hear the noise in my background. My cat is currently playing with, I think, a receipt or something on the ground. What are you doing? And then you got a Cult Brawler here with 11 million doing his thing. And something else that's pretty cool about this team as well, I forgot to mention, is it is completely, I wouldn't say free to play, but there's no legendaries on the team. So obviously you got 2 rares, and then Maneater being one of the hardest ones to get, and then Feign and a Cult Brawler. So yeah, it's pretty cool there. And so we'll pull up just a team that I've done this. My use before I had Feign, I would always just use Draco on this team, and you can see very similar stats and everything here from everyone on the board. So 23 million there, 24 million here with Draco doing 11 million. Brawler doing 9. This was also against a Void Affinity boss, so very similar damage output, and that's why I say she's a poor man's Draco, because she's doing the weaken, she's doing the defense down, so you're covering those bases that Draco does, and then she also adds a little bit of poisons. Draco's obviously going to do more because he does a lot more poison damage and that kind of stuff, but I think she is right there behind him as a solid option if you don't have Draco for an unkillable build. And then also just to show again a comparison of them on Nightmare, and this was on a force day. So this was when I started, I'd have to like figure out a way to get my unkillable team to work on force so that Draco wasn't targeted. So I made Frozen Banshee be my stun target so that Draco could be fine. But you can see against a force affinity boss, the team only ran, this was on Nightmare, keep in mind, just under 25 million. So then I replaced her with Feign and then did Bulwark instead of Frozen Banshee for the stun, and the team did significantly better. I mean not significantly, but a good amount more. So it was definitely covered my bases there when I couldn't use Draco, that I had Feign. So that is something to keep in mind for her, guys, if you want to use her on your unkillable teams. So that is Feign. Other outside of clan boss, I think she's a decent carry, or not a carry, but in early stages of faction wars, she can pack a punch, guys. She can one-shot a lot of characters, so those early stages inside of faction wars can help you progress there. As for more of the end game stuff, I'm not really sure, or the end game stages, probably going to want to stay away from her. I've seen people use her in a spiders setting, again kind of similar to getting the weaken and defense down on, since it is targeting only one opponent. She'll target the spider and put that on, so it can help your big cold hearts or Royal Guards or Septimus, whoever you have, to do the damage, so she can fill that role. But I've heard there's some issue with being on auto and whatnot, so keep that in mind. But other than that, I think her main place is in clan boss in that kind of setting, but I do think that she can very easily be thrown in on some of these easy, normal, hard, and brutal clan boss teams, and really help you guys' damage get up there in terms of getting those 1 keys for clan boss. And lastly, before I end off this video, I wanted to showcase a team that I did with Feign that was outside of an unkillable team. So like I said at the beginning, everyone is like, oh, she's only good and unkillable. I wanted to test it out because I had the idea of doing the video about her, so I figured I'd test her as many areas as I could. And this was where I tried to build a team that wasn't going to be based around the unkillable. So here we have counterattack, we have the ally attack, and then a lot of defense and HP helping here, and then obviously the defensive aura from Martyr. And so yeah, this is kind of the team I was kind of trying to build around her. Plus I have her in Stalwart, so I figured I have her built for that unkillable team, so still her defense is extremely low, and this is against the Nightmare clan boss, so I'm nowhere near the level where I need it to be at. But I wanted to try it out just to see how this team does, and I do run it on full auto. And so yeah, I didn't do anything, I just threw it in there just to see how it went. So you can see there, just started it out. I'm playing this on a playback, I'm not doing this live. So yeah, we'll skip ahead now to the end. You can see we're doing about 1 million damage per turn, which is awesome. And skipping more, Bad L has died. They all are about to die in just a second here. And you can see we're at 29 million, lasting 33 turns here, 34 because he just gets the double there. And so yeah, finally ending with 29.27 million damage on Nightmare outside of Unkillable. It did better than my Unkillable team does at times because it kind of just varies a little bit. I think it's close to around the same damage that my Unkillable team normally does, so it's kind of nice because I get to just throw that in there as just on full auto, just means less work from me. You see her putting out 9 million damage. This was against a forced affinity boss. So yeah, pretty cool. Just wanted to show that she can be used potentially. It wasn't a 1 key, but maybe a little bit of tweaking if I had her defense up a little bit higher, which would be really hard since she has such low base defense. But yeah, it could potentially help out. But on the lower clan bosses, she could do fantastic, guys. So take her up if you're looking for a good damage dealer, as well as the weaken and debuff or damage down. So there you have it, guys. That is going to be my breakdown on Feign. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Don't forget, hit the link in the description and you guys can download the game and get yourself Grumbler and 100,000 silver in the next 30 days if you are a brand new player to Raid Shadow Legends. So thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video once again. But that is going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.